if you're listening to this in India, then this will make a lot of sense to you. Where I turn to Kunal and tell him, "खुश तो बहुत हो गए तुम्हारे, खुश तो बहुत हो गए। वो racing track जहाँ पर तुम्हें कभी मार्शल बनने का भी मौका नहीं मिला, वहाँ तुम जा रहे हो." Okay, my name is Rishi Kapoor. Kunal Shah is doing the clapping bit right now in Inside Line, the F1 podcast. Why? Because he's a mean machine, He's somebody who does not deserve friendship or goodness. Because again, for another racing weekend, he'll be at a Grand Prix track and I will be in front of my TV.
Yes, Rishi. Welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for that. That was a wonderful piece of mimicry.
Kunal is going to make another little trip, little splash and dash, if I may call it, to the F1 circuit. The F1 circus moves to Silverstone, the Mecca Medina of racing, and our man is going to be in the pit lane. So, live updates, huh?
Yes, live updates only for you, Rishi.
Yeah, that's when he makes me jealous and I go. But Kunal, Silverstone is coming up and I've just realized it's actually 3 weekends between the two races, not the regular 2.
Yeah, just suddenly, even out of the blue, I realized that, oh my God, it's another one more week of waiting.
Oh, that means another one more week of so much wind tunnel testing for so many teams and somebody gets it right and somebody doesn't get it right and stuff.
Yes, that's true. And that gives us a chance to do what we do best, Rishi.
So today we've come up with something else. This is a new theme which Kunal will explain why this thing is happening.
Yes, so for everyone who heard the last week's podcast,
yes,
okay, where I spoke very briefly about the Forbes highest paid athletes list, okay, and Formula One drivers do not seem to make as much as per Forbes in terms of driver endorsements.
Correct.
So that's why Rishi and I spend about half an hour before this podcast, which is usually slightly longer than when we would for preparing. And we said, why don't we think of brands that
products
that Formula One drivers
should
would endorse, and the drivers who we really keep talking about all the time.
So these are the drivers that matter to us, these are drivers that matter to you, and the products that will matter to all of us, because we need to make our drivers really legendary.
Yes, indeed.
Let's start.
And much like we always hope that Vettel makes it to the top step, or Alonso makes it to the top step. I think the highest placed F1 driver is only 19th. So we need to do all we can to bring them up on the list. So next year's list should probably have them in top 5.
So we have to get them to the podium.
Yes, we do, and that's what a true blue Formula One fan would do.
The first driver is
Kimi Raikkonen.
Kimi Raikkonen it is. Kimi Raikkonen would endorse, according to Kunal.
The easiest thing for the Iceman would be the Magnum ice cream bar. Okay, that'll be good. The other thing we must do is he should endorse the Lotus cars, the road cars that they manufacture.
But that's actually made by Caterham.
Yes, if you remember, we had 2 Lotus teams not too many years back.
Yes.
But if he endorses those cars and they sell more road cars and they put that money back in the Formula One team, we might just see Kimi actually trying to win this year's championship or next year.
I am slightly in disagreement with what he should sell.
I am not surprised.
I think he's very good at taking care of Pirelli rubber, and he can make the rubber last really long. So I think he should endorse long-lasting condoms. Driver number 2 is
Fernando Alonso.
Hola amigos, Fernando Alonso. What should he be selling?
This has come from a regular listener, Pavitra, who we must thank a lot.
Woo.
Okay. He's consistent, he's calm, he's, like everyone says, the complete driver. And again, if you're an Indian listener, you'd know that the complete man is endorsed by Raymond Suitings.
So Fernando Alonso, Raymond's the complete man. Number 3 driver is the 3-time world champion Sebastian Vettel.
Yes, the 3-time world champion, the baby Shumi. In my view, he should endorse Johnson's baby products.
I thought you were going to say Jensen's baby products.
He could do that as well.
Okay, in my view, he should be actually endorsing Anima products because he has a finger up there. Also, he could be endorsing Ring because the finger is always up there. Go for it.
The next one, a very obvious one, British driver Jenson Button.
The champion, the blue-eyed boy in McLaren.
The guy who's always got a stubble as well. I remember Nick Heidfeld was usually the guy who was with a stubble. There was also Jacques Villeneuve, but both of them are not on the grid anymore.
Thankfully.
So I think the only stubble driver that we see most of the weekends is Jenson Button. So in my view, we should probably get him to endorse a shaver.
Which is very soon gonna happening with McLaren. But I think he should be endorsing Japanese tourism packages because he's got Michibata to go everywhere.
Yeah, she just follows him everywhere. Is that why you're saying so?
Next driver in line, the ex-McLaren driver, the now Mercedes driver, the driver who's probably considered the fiercest, fastest, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yes.
In my view, Lewis took the move on tag very, very seriously.
Uh-huh.
And that's also a tag. Again, if you're an Indian listener, you'll know this is an Indian product called Titan Fast Track watches. Okay. Courtesy again to Pavitra for this.
Right.
But you know what? I'm very curious. Roscoe, his dog, is making more news. So maybe we should get dog products endorsed as well.
Yes, and according to me, he should be endorsing key makers.
Key makers?
Yeah,
Why would he do that?
Because he locks up a lot. The next driver in line, actually drivers in line, are Webber and Massa, the most reliable number twos of the most reliable teams.
Consistent, again, number two, happy to be second, happy to have signed contracts where they say they're second. So any brand which consistently only wants to be positioned as second, please go sign them.
Yes, according to me, they shouldn't be endorsing anything. Ask me why.
Why?
They're already endorsing their number one drivers. There's a hi-fi happening here. The next driver in line, a driver who's probably crying right now on his karmas and is lost out on a great car in terms of Sahara Force India F1, is Nico Hülkenberg, moved to a new team. And who do you think he should be endorsing?
The only thing he can endorse right now is the Avengers 2 movie that's going to come up. And he should actually be endorsing the character Hulk.
Hulk. The only difference is in his case, the character might be called Sulk.
Yeah, I mean, the C-32 has given him enough reasons to go green. But I prefer the word Sulk to Hulk. I agree with you, Rishi.
Okay, coming up, two of our favorite drivers, the guys who actually make very good TV for Formula 1, and I'm sure Bernie loves them. Crash Ronaldo and Cross John.
Yes, they should endorse prams for babies. You should ask me why.
Why?
Because they always need supervision when they are on wheels, motorized or not.
Well, I was going to say, they should actually be endorsing band-aids or adhesives. That's what sticks us together. There's a lot of humor here in the Inside Line F1 podcast where Kunal Shah and Rishi Kapoor get together. Also, if you want to keep in touch, like usually Pavitra does, that's on email, slash at Twitter. We're always there. That's Kunal A. Shah and RJ Rishi Kapoor. But before we leave you and we come up with a pre-Silverstone analysis of our own, one last man
Who we can't ignore, who we never ignore.
He's our favorite. He's our god. We worship him. We usually keep fasts and pujas for him. The name of the legendary driver is
Mr. Michael Schumacher.
Michael Schumacher should be endorsing.
He should endorse everything in life, right? From when you get up in the morning, the blanket and the pillow and the toothbrush and the toothpaste and my car and my tires and my watch and my tie and my shirt and my trousers, and I can go on.
Go on and on. So me and Kunal have collectively come up with a solution where he should actually be endorsing our podcast because we need it. My name is Rishi Kapoor. Kunal Shah is the man doing the laughing today. I'm going to be ending this podcast with a little bit longer to wait for the Silverstone Grand Prix. Very, very happy to tell you that our podcasts have been hitting some consistent views week after week after week. And for that, thank you so much. Join us again.